put this together a few years ago, shortly after my mother passed away, when I went down to the old hometown and cleaned her house out. I included it on my last book, When the Music Fades. It's called An Empty Glass. Hope you enjoy. The house was quiet except for the soft ticking of an old clock on the mantel. Outside, the world carried on as it always did, indifferent to the weight of this day. It was her birthday, and she was gone. I sat at the kitchen table, the morning light filtering through the curtains, casting a pale glow on the worn wood. Her absence was a tangible thing, a void that filled the room. The scent of coffee mingled with the faint, lingering smell of her perfume, a haunting reminder of what once was. Birthdays had always been a celebration, a gathering of family and friends, laughter echoing through the halls. She would bake her own cake, a simple affair with rich chocolate and frosting that tasted of love and home. We would sit around this very table, the candles flickering, and she made a wish and blew them out with a smile that warmed the coldest of hearts. But today the cake was absent, the silence was deafening. I poured a cup of coffee, her favorite mug in my hand. It was chipped but cherished. I could almost hear her voice, soft and melodic, telling me stories of her youth, of a world that seemed so far away now. I took a sip, the bitterness a comfort, a reminder that some things endure even when people do not. The photos on the mantel caught my eye, frozen moments of a life well lived. Her smile radiant and kind, a beacon in the fog of memory. I could see her in the yard, her hands dirty with soil, nurturing life in the small patch of earth she tended with such care. Grief, I had learned, is a companion that never truly leaves. It shifts and changes, but it remains. And on days like this, it comes to the forefront, a reminder of the love that was and the loss that is. I walked to the hedges, the grass damp with morning dew. The flowers she had planted were in full bloom, vibrant and alive, a testament to her touch. I knelt beside them, my fingers tracing the petals soft and delicate, like the hands that once tended them. I felt the sting of tears, hot and unbidden, and I let them come. There was no shame in this, no weakness. It was a tribute, a way to honor her. The world moved on as it always does, but here in this small corner of earth, she was remembered. I whispered happy birthday into the wind, the words carried away on a breeze that rustled the leaves and stirred the flowers. It was a small thing, but it was enough. I stood and walked back into the house, the weight of the day settling into a familiar ache. There would be no cake, no candles, no wishes made. But there was the memory of her, the love she gave, and the life she lived. That was her gift, enduring and unbreakable. In the quiet of the morning, I found a semblance of peace. She was gone. The final act of cleaning out my mother's house, my boyhood home, was not just another thing to check off a list. To borrow a line from an old Earl Thomas Conley song, this was the second hardest thing I'd ever have to do. Second only to giving the eulogy at my mother's funeral a few months ago. It wasn't just packing boxes and loading trucks. It was a menu of emotions with a side of mixed feelings and significance of meaning. It was revisiting old memories, recalling laughter, and experiencing new tears. It was living in reverse. You see, I learned how to walk in the living room and ride my bike in circles on the rug. I learned about my dad and the love he had for my mother on that old couch. That little house was chock full of memories and lessons and unconditional love. I was told of the passing of Elvis and John Wayne by the kitchen sink. I taught my cousin how to pitch in the backyard and stuck a yellow lawn dart in my other cousin's leg. When I was 13, I was consoled in the bedroom when the first girl I gave my heart to packed up and moved to Little Rock. Mom's closet was where we brought in a stray dog so she could have her puppies out of the winter cold. I honed my love of old country music on Saturday afternoons, listening to those honky-tonk prophets like Charlie Rich and Ed Bruce on an old Crosley AM radio while Mom sipped her whiskey from a glass Coca-Cola bottle as she fixed her hair at the end of the table. The house was a potpourri of sweet bourbon and stale Pall Malls as she prepared to go out and do all the wrong things right. And she could always turn those felts in that cowboy crowd down at Herbie's Honky Tonk. It hurts to know that things have permanently changed and that the home I always knew to be a constant isn't anymore. We hold on to a feeling all the while searching for uncharted roads. There's a huge part of me that will never be the same, nor should it. Go to YouTube and do me a favor and subscribe to my channel. It's called Keith Hurst Dirt Road Sessions, and help me grow that thing so I can continue to share stories. Thanks a lot, and y'all God bless. Bye.